Good morning, Laguna Woods, and welcome to Inspiration for Today. We are real glad that you joined us today, and I know you're going to love this show. Today we have our guest, Vicki Cox, to be here with us today. And you've met her before. She's here. She's an important part of our team at Saddleback Church, Laguna Woods, and she actually has a verse for us today, too. She's going to share.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah.
1 Peter 8 and 9. Above all, love each other deeply. Offer hospitality to one another without grumbling.
Mm, that's a good one.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
good.
hard one.
Yeah. Well, one of and the reason why one of the important things, one of the things that you're involved with is kind of the Sunday morning, what we call hospitality, and
Mhm.
that's welcoming people to church
Mhm.
and just there's so many pieces to that. Why don't you help us
Right. It's
understand?
not just hospitality isn't just when you walk in and you get the donuts and stuff. It starts way at the front of the curb where we have the signs that say Saddleback Church. We have greeters as you walk in greeting you. We have people there if you need a name tag because some of us aren't real good at remembering names. So we have name tags. So we offer all those to you, and then you can go in and get your coffee and your donuts and your eggs and everything. And then it actually extends further into the room. We have ushers in there that will help you find a seat. We have people in there just to talk to you. We have people in the back if you're brand new to the church that'll give you information on the church. We have the bookstore in the back. There's a bunch of stuff in the back that hospitality goes all the way through the whole building.
Because really, the heart is that we want people to feel welcomed and
Yes.
loved.
Yeah.
And one important thing, and maybe this would be something good to touch on, is that you're not doing this like alone running around. There's teams of people
Oh,
that you help encourage,
there's
and so
probably there's at least 30, if not 50, a service that are
yeah.
that are doing this, and
Isn't that
some of them
amazing?
it's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
And a lot of them will stay they'll do the first service, and then they stay for the beginning of the second service to get all of that welcoming done to make sure that everybody feels like they belong there.
yeah. And some of them I know, especially like the coffee team, they get there crack of dawn.
Yeah, when we get there, I get there about 7:30. I think you're there
Yeah,
usually before
yeah,
me. They
yeah,
get there at 7, I think,
yeah,
and they get the coffee going because the machine takes a while just to get the water hot.
yeah. Yeah, it's old.
So
It's got to be encouraged a
it's
little bit.
wonderful. Yeah, we
Yeah,
have a whole great group of guys that do that. So
yeah,
it took us a while. We got a great group. They're totally bonded. They love doing it. I think they mostly just like hanging out with each other as they're doing the coffee.
yeah. Now, why do you think that's so important? Why do you think having this hospitality kind of movement or team is important? Why do you think we do that?
I think one of the things we're supposed to show to people is love. We're supposed to love one another. And I think if people don't feel loved, if they don't feel that, and I think it's immediately, I think when you walk into that room, you have to feel something. And if it's something good, you're going to come back. If it's not, you're not going to.
Mm.
And we want to make sure they feel God's love immediately when they walk. Actually, as soon as they step onto that curb and you see the greeters, we want it to start there.
Yeah, and it's amazing because it's something that belonging to the church, you do get to know everybody, and everybody is very loving. Kind of just it just pours out of their heart. But
Hmm.
but we just want to be intentional about that
Yes.
because if we're not thinking about, well, what about somebody that's visiting the church that maybe has never been here before, and then they may not know that we're grateful that they're here, but if we don't intentionally, plan to welcome them and make sure they have coffee and that type of stuff, they may not feel welcome.
Right, right. And hopefully, when they sit down at the tables also will envelop them and welcome them too.
Yeah,
So we're
yeah,
hoping that praying that it goes throughout the whole service.
yeah. And even details like which I was blown away when I first noticed it, but even there's a whole cushion ministry. Tell
Yeah,
me about that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
The
The
seat cushion.
the
Seat
chairs are a
cushion.
little
Yeah,
hard. What's that
yeah.
saying that you can only endure what your seat you can only what is it?
What is it?
You can only
Your mind can only endure what your seat
seat can
or the
endure
seat. Oh,
something.
yeah,
Anyway,
yes,
if you're comfortable, you'll stay.
Somebody,
So yeah,
please
yeah,
email
yeah,
us.
yeah,
The
yeah.
email. Tell us what that
is.
saying is. Yeah.
But if you're comfortable, you'll stay. So this was way early on. We found out those seats were hard, and we
Yeah.
went out and bought a bunch of cushions. They have cushions, but they're so thin.
Yeah.
So we bought
Yeah.
thicker cushions, and then that kind of we didn't have enough, and people kept coming because it was working, and so
Yeah.
we had to get more. So we have bags of
Oh
cushions
gosh. Yeah.
that we put out
Yeah.
every week, and then pack them back up and put them back in the trailer.
Teams of people.
Yeah,
Teams
yes,
of people
yeah,
just for
yeah,
that.
yeah, down to that. That's important. There's little things like that.
Oh my goodness. And
And they,
even the food, I'm thinking, I know the food's a big, we mentioned coffee,
hmm
but there's also this whole array of food. Now, somebody has to shop for that. Somebody has to prepare that. What kind of people are involved with that?
We have one person that figures out with her team. They figure out every week what needs to be rebought. So it's every week we don't need to go get creamer, but every week,
Right.
she needs to know all that. She sends out a list to, I think it's 4 people every week. It depends on, they change, those people change, but we have shoppers.
There
So
you
if you
go.
if you're into
There you go. See?
shopping, this is
Hey,
perfect.
an
Yeah,
opportunity. You like to
yeah,
shop,
yeah.
you can serve. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So they go, they bring them. We reimburse them. They aren't paying
Yeah,
for these things,
right.
but every week we have the eggs have to be taken home. They're at Costco, but they have to be taken out of every little. They're in twos, and I did this one week. I kept thinking this can't be hard. Oh my goodness, what they have to do. You have to take out all the eggs, wash them off, get them dry enough to put them in baggies to get them there. And then if you're doing any of the vegetables, those all have to be done. And a lot of the fruit, if you're doing grapes, those were a huge deal to do. So all those little things that nobody ever notices,
Yeah,
we have people behind the scenes
yeah.
that are doing all that just so that the people that come will feel good,
See,
feel
that's
comfortable.
and you reminded me of something you said that because even the coffee ministry, when I had a chance, I love coffee, so I was getting involved in that a little
Mhm.
bit. But even details like making sure the coffee maker is turned on early enough, and sometimes will come if they have an event the night
Mhm.
before. That might sometimes they have late events in the same clubhouse. Will come in and there's still like coffee that's been percolating for 10
Hours.
hours,
Yeah.
and so then somebody's got to scour that in the morning before we serve, and all
Mhm.
these things are done in the wee hours that nobody even knows about,
Yeah.
so then they
Right.
can have a good pot of coffee
Yeah.
when they come in.
Yep.
So
Mhm.
talk about that. That's a great opportunity to love
Yeah.
people.
Coffee's my favorite ministry
Yeah.
because that's one of my favorite things. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the lady that gets the hazelnut creamer for me is my favorite
Oh,
too.
that's a winner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there's a whole team. What about the team of people that actually serve it? Because people, and those times, those are different people that are shopping and making
Right.
coffee. There's a
Yes,
whole nother
exactly.
team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I didn't have my job, I would want to be back behind there serving the coffee. You get to meet every single person that comes almost because almost
Yeah.
everybody gets food. So you get to meet all of those people coming in, know what they like. Actually, they have people that want particular donuts, and I probably shouldn't say this, but they do
Yeah.
will hold them aside depending on, who
It's
they
a
are and how
special
much.
order.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
yeah.
special order.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah, but they get to know these people really
Yeah.
well, and that's my favorite part of the church is to get to
Yeah.
know people and know their stories. So
It's funny you mentioned that because that area, kind of the foyer at Clubhouse 5, where we are most of the time, is just a wonderful place just to
hmm
hang out because there's this wonderful kind of symphony going on
yeah,
of people coming in and getting greeted and
hmm
getting bulletins. That's a whole
yeah,
other thing we didn't
that's one
talk
other
about,
thing.
handing bulletins.
And one more
And
thing I just want to mention because
yeah,
I forgot about this. The music starts, and it's people are still out there getting their food.
yeah,
People aren't always on time sitting down, but the music started one week, and everybody out there started singing, and it was wonderful.
I love
It was
that.
so
Love
beautiful.
that.
Yeah.
But there's this great sense in that foyer area with this, wonderful craziness going on of people getting food and coffee and
hmm
creamer and being greeted. Just like it's such a wonderful place of family that we really want to welcome people to. If you haven't been to Saddleback Laguna Woods, you are welcome. We'll put the service times at the end of the video here, but we're Sunday mornings 9 and 11, normally in Clubhouse 5. But we'd love to welcome you, and if you've got a friend, invite a friend to come too. And part of it is we just want to have the blessing of sharing God's love with you.
Yes.
That's
Yep.
it too.
hmm
And so, and for even those of us that it's not necessarily a natural thing we do it because we're so grateful to be part of God's family in this way. So,
And actually, once you start doing it, it comes pretty easy. People are really nice. So,
very too. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But, well, if there's, I would love to hear that verse again one more
All
time
right.
before we
All
kind
right.
of close today.
So 1 Peter 4:8 and 9. Above all, love each other deeply. Offer hospitality to one another without grumbling.
All right.
You didn't
Thank
talk
you.
about the grumbling part.
Well,
I'm good at that
yeah.
part.
Well, the grumbling, we know. The grumbling is, I think, when my alarm clock goes
Oh,
off.
that's true. Yeah, that's
I
true.
don't know about
That's
you,
true.
but
Yeah,
that only lasts
it's
like that
early.
long, and then I'm very happy. But anyways, well, anyways, thank you, Laguna Woods, for joining us again. You have a blessed day, and please come down and join us for coffee and food and a nice seat cushion, which is really
Yes,
kind of cool.
yeah.
So, all
Seat
right.
cushions, great
Thank
job.
you, Vicki, for joining us
Thanks,
today.
Jeff.
All right. God bless you guys.